Good. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to put on my Laker hand cap and I'm going to be talking a little bit about something that was very highly requested, something that I get asked about a ton from friends, from fellow students, and just from all of you guys over at Lakers Nation, is how I got into sports journalism, and I cannot speak today, and particularly how I started working for Lakers Nation. So it's kind of actually an interesting story, I think, and I think it's just kind of random, and honestly I think a lot of it does just come down to luck. I think I was very lucky in terms of how I started working for Lakers Nation and just kind of how it all started. So pretty much, I'm also going to try not to make this video super long, because I know my previous Q&As are just crazy, and the more I do these videos, the longer they get, because I gotta learn to zip it up sometimes. Not my strongest suit, but anyway, there I go. Okay, so pretty much when my entire life I was always a Laker fan. My poor dad, God bless him, he had 4 daughters, so he kind of tried with all of his daughters to get them to like sports, and none of them were that interested. And then I came along and I really liked watching sports with him. I'm very close with my dad. He's probably my best friend. Actually, not probably, he is my best friend. So I always grew up watching sports with him. Also, side note, I'm the favorite child because of this. So I just grew up watching sports with him, and Lakers were always his favorite team, so I would watch with him. Nothing too crazy, I just enjoyed watching. I remember watching Kobe's 81-point game. I loved Kobe Bryant my entire life. I was kind of that weird girl in, kindergarten when they're like, who do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, Kobe Bryant, and they were like, okay, Hannah, you're weird. But so I always really loved Kobe and the Lakers, but never thought of it as a career path or anything that I wanted to pursue like that. Pretty much when the NBA trade lockout happened, I don't know what happened, because I always was a fan of the Lakers and basketball in general, but something just flipped in me and I became so obsessed. To the point where it was all I talked about, all I thought about. I would research every day, when is it gonna, when is the lockout gonna be over? And I don't know why, I was just so fascinated by it. So that kind of turns my, casual hobby fan to full-blown obsession with the Lakers and just with the NBA in general. And it got to the point where I remember my dad would take me places and tell his friends, they'd be ask her anything about any NBA player, about their wife, their kids, anything about their life, and I would know it, and I would just blow people's minds. It was awesome because I was so obsessed. I knew everything about every player, their wife, their mom, their brother, everything that you could possibly know about them on and off the court. I knew, and I studied, and I was obsessed. I would watch film like crazy. So I was just became addicted, and it was kind of watching the games and just researching and reading articles about the NBA just wasn't enough for me. I had to somehow have my own little outlet to just pour my obsession with. So I started my own little Laker blog called Laker Hand. I honestly don't think anyone I don't think anyone read it or anything like that besides my dad and a few of my guy friends who I would hold down and be read my blog. So it wasn't a huge, successful blog or anything like that. I was, I think about 16, maybe 15, 16 at the time. So obviously I was a super cool high schooler with a ton of stuff to do. No, I would just watch Laker games and I would blog about, I would do recaps after every single game. I would do any breaking news stories. I would just write about anything that had to do with the Lakers. And even though no one was really reading these blog posts, I think it really helped me because I was getting so much experience writing and kind of because I had read so many articles on NBA.com or LakersNation.com or Lake Show Life or really any Lakers outlet. I really kind of started in my mind, I would know how these articles were supposed to sound. So I would just practice and I would write an article about everything. I wrote probably at least 1 article a day, because I was recapping every single game, and I was also doing any breaking news stories or anything like that, and I just really liked it. And I did that blog oh man, I did it for a long time. I think if I started it when I was like 15 or 16, and then I think by the time, yeah, okay, so I did my blog. I did that for at least a year of just my blog. Nothing crazy like that. I don't know how many people read it or anything like that, but I loved it and I enjoyed it, and I think it was great practice for me. And then one day when I was doing my little morning search about the Lakers, as I would do every single morning when I woke up, it was the first thing I would type into Google was like Lakers news and rumors, and this website called Lake Show Life came up that I frequented a lot. So I clicked on it and they said they were looking for writers. So submit any pieces of work you had or anything if you wanted to become a Lake Show Life writer. And I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest day of my life. So I like instantly submitted my blog post. I just said like, hi, you know, my name is Hannah. I think I said I was like 16 or 17 at the time, and I think it was 16, and you know, I have my own little Laker blog, and I love writing about anything that has to do with the Lakers. I would love to be a part of your site and contribute in any way possible. And I sent them, I think, the link to my blog and a few of like my favorite articles that I had written. And I didn't know if I was going to hear anything back from them, and actually they responded very, very quickly. They loved my stuff, so they were like, all right, let's, you know, you can come write. So I wrote a bunch of articles for them. I think I wrote for them about a year and a half, so a pretty long time. And I learned a lot from them. It was great. The editors at the time were, you know, really helpful, and they gave me really great feedback on my pieces that I would write from them, and they were just really good in helping me learn and become even like a better writer. So I wrote for them for about a year and a half. I had a few pieces actually be picked up by Bleacher Report, which was like, I mean, I'll never forget like the first piece I had picked up by Bleacher Report. I freaked out. My dad called me because we would get the emails like sent to us that had like all the articles that they were like picking up for the day, and one of mine was in there, and it was like the happiest moment of my life. I like freaked out. I actually left school early because I was like, I couldn't even deal. I was so happy. So I had a few pieces through Lake Show Life published on Bleacher Report, and I wrote for them for Lake Show Life for about a year and a half. And then the two editors that had originally hired me that I really liked had left, and they had like some new editors coming in, and I don't know, I just felt like I was kind of stagnant, and I just wanted to maybe, you know, try a different site or see if there was anything else out there just to get more experience. And so I just kind of one day was like, you know what, let's just like go for it. Lakers Nation is my favorite, you know, Laker website ever. I'm just gonna go for it, email them. I never saw an ad or anything, and see if they're interested in looking for a new writer, looking for anything that I can contribute with. So I also emailed Silver Screen and Roll at this time. I emailed Silver Screen and Roll and then Lakers Nation. I never thought I was going to hear back from either one of them because either one of them weren't saying that they were looking for writers or needed any help or anything like that. I never heard back from Silver Screen and Roll, but I actually heard back from Lakers Nation within, I think, like an hour of the email. So I remember because I'd emailed them like that morning right before I left for class. I was a freshman in college, or maybe I was like a sophomore in college, I think at the time. I was a sophomore in college at the time, and I had emailed them right before I went to my morning class. And I remember I had classes that whole day, and I just wasn't expecting to hear from them, especially so soon. So I remember sitting in class, like I had just got in class, and they like had emailed me back and were like, oh my God, they were like, yes, we're interested, call me, and they gave me a number to call them. And I remember being like, I can't call you right now because I have like back-to-back classes all day. So I called them the second I was done with my classes, and we set up where I drove to the offices, and I had a little interview with them, and I brought some of my pieces, and they had said, you know, we weren't necessarily looking to hire anyone, but you can come and intern for us. And that's kind of how it all started. I know it's very random. I've been, you know, working for them ever since, and I've been mainly writing editorials. I'm very excited now that there are some more opportunities to do podcasts and video stuff, because that is what I really like to do. I really like to be in front of camera, and I really like to just kind of be able to put more of my personality into it and my opinion into it and stuff. So and obviously I love talking, as you can tell. So I'm really excited about like the new opportunities that are coming with that as well. In terms of like my advice to anybody who would want to get into the sports journalism world, my biggest piece of advice would just be practice writing. Practice doing, whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's you want to be a reporter on camera, or you want to, do a podcast, or you want to just be, strictly a writer. Practice it. And I think there are so many different outlets and ways to do that now, especially with social media. You can just start your own YouTube channel. And I actually have a few people like fans that I have through Lakers Nation that, email me and snap me that they started their own little podcast or they started their own YouTube channel. And I think that is amazing. I actually go and I watch their videos, and I'm gonna put some of them down below, because there's one in particular and he always sends me stuff and it's really good, and I'm gonna put him down below, give him some credit for that, because I think that's what kind of sets you apart. And that's what I'm trying to explain this in a way, but my biggest thing is, especially now, there's no reason you can't do it. You don't have to be even a part of something. Social media and platforms like YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all sorts of places have really given us these platforms that we can do whatever we want. And you don't have to be a part of a Laker website, or even an editorial website or anything like that to be covering the Lakers. But you should be, if you really want to be in the sports journalism world, the best piece of advice that I can give you is just to practice. So whether that is just starting your own little blog and writing blog posts, whether that's writing for your school newspaper, I can guarantee you, if any of you guys are in, college or in, high school, whatever, if you come to them and you say, listen, I'm a huge Laker fan, or I'm a huge, Rams fan, or whatever sports, whatever team you're a huge fan of, and I would like to maybe do even if just once a month, a little like monthly recap about what is going on in Lakerland, or what's going on in in the NFL, or whatever it is. I can bet you they'd probably be interested in that, because that's something that I feel like a lot of students would be interested in. So just practice. Even if no one's looking at what you're posting or whatever, as long as you're getting the practice writing, you're gonna get better at it. And then also, whenever there is an opportunity that comes up where you're browsing through any Lakers websites or any other sport websites, and you see that they're looking for somebody who fills that position, or who's a writer or whatever, you have a bunch of pieces of work that you can send to them, and so that puts you ahead as well. And also, you don't even have to wait. I think a lot of people too, this is my number one thing, you don't even have to wait to see like an ad being posted that Lakers Nation or Silver Screen or any of these places are looking for a writer. There's no reason you can't just email them and say, hey, I'm a huge Laker fan, and my dream is to work for you guys. I will do anything. I wake up every morning. You're the first website I check every day to get all of my Lakers news, and please let me know if there are ever any opportunities to come and work for you guys, to come and write for you guys, or really contribute in any way. And I can bet, they'll probably email you back. And even if they don't respond, if you keep doing it, they'll remember you, because people like, at least in my opinion and from what I've been told, people like it when you take initiative, and that shows that you're a go-getter, and that shows that this is something that you really want and that you have drive and determination. So if you do that, I think that really sets you apart. And then if you're also doing that and you have your own pieces of work that you've done just for fun on the side or whatever that you can send to them so that they have reference, it also shows that you're taking it extremely seriously. So those are my biggest pieces of advice. I would say, just to kind of recap, because I know I talked a lot, my biggest pieces of advice would definitely be to practice writing, practice doing YouTube videos, whatever it is that you want to do. Get a lot of stuff to just build up your resume, and also to practice it and get better at it, because you will get better. Like when you look back at your first articles and you thought they were like amazing, you'll look back and be like, oh my god, I've gotten so much better. I've learned how to like speak like a journalist and all that stuff. So practice a lot. Get stuff that even if it's not counting or whatever, that you can put on your resume. And then also just kind of take a chance and just be a go-getter and go out there and really, email these sites, contact them in any way, and just send, give them a little bit of backstory, and just say like, hey, I'm willing to do anything. Send them your pieces of work, and, keep doing it. Just because you do it a few times and you don't hear from, the first one, second one, third one, even, you could do it 5 times and never hear from it. But you know what? you might do it a 6th time, and they might be like, okay, this person is serious, and now we do have a position that we could offer him. And you know what? I like that article that he sent, and I really like that he's going out there and he's doing his own thing, and he's, you know, practicing writing, because we need somebody who shows that determination. And that's a good skill set that in any career, they're always looking for someone who takes the initiative and shows a lot of drive and works really hard. So those are my biggest pieces of advice. Again, they might not work for everyone. I think they're just really helpful things that you should be doing in any career. Honestly, you should always be practicing, you know, whatever you want to do so that you can get better at it. I know for me personally, I've been very extremely lucky in how I got to this position. But again, I did do a lot of stuff at a very young age when all of my friends were, you know, kind of out doing their thing, you know, just kind of hanging around and going to the mall, doing whatever. I wasn't really ever into that. I was always like, you know, I was that friend when they had to go out, they were like, oh, there's a huge party, you know, come out. I was like, oh no, sorry, like there's a Laker game on, I'm gonna do my recap. And they thought I was so weird, and I'm like, why are you doing this, Hannah? That's just so dumb, like live your life. And you know, for me, I didn't really feel like I was missing out on it, because I truly enjoyed doing it. And I know that might not be the case for everyone, but you know, sometimes you do have to make some sacrifices. It's not that big of a sacrifice for me because I don't like that stuff, but you know, sometimes you do have to make those sacrifices if you are, you know, to look at the bigger picture. And so those are my biggest pieces of advice. I hope this wasn't too long. I can already see it's getting a little long on the camera, but you know, again, if you guys have any other questions, I'm always willing to help and answer any questions that you may have. And again, I will put some of the people, like the fans from Lakers Nation who have sent me their like works, like their YouTube videos and stuff, I will put them down in the description box below. Make sure to check them out so that we're all supporting each other, because again, we are all huge fans of the Lakers, and we're just one big Laker fam, guys. So we should all support each other. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions, and let me know also if you guys like this video. I could go more in depth, and I can, you know, do some more of these Laker videos. I'm really trying right now to figure out my YouTube channel in terms of like, because I do the fitness stuff and I also do the Lakers stuff, I want to be able to combine it and stuff. But you know, hopefully you guys, I don't want to, you know, make my fitness people hate me, and I know the Laker people, if this is something that's interesting to you, let me know, and I can continue making Laker videos and stuff, because again, I do really enjoy it. It's, you know, a huge part of my life. It's my passion and everything, so it's awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to, here's all my YouTube stuff, guys. I've practiced this a lot and now I know it. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment down below. Here's a new one, guys. Get excited. Turn on push notifications. I don't know if I've heard other people do that, so I'm going to say it now. Turn on the push notifications so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. I'm going to try to do at least 2 to 3 videos a week. Again, I really love making them, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. Snapchat is a platform I really enjoy doing, and I like to talk to y'all a lot on Snapchat, so make sure you're following me on all of that. I will put that all down there below. And for now, that's the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.